Hey guys, it's Carolyn. This is like the 5th time that I've tried to film this video because I've had different things, like, my mom came in at one point, so that interrupted one of the videos, and then my aunt has called several times. But yeah, so this is like my 5th attempt, and hopefully my final attempt at filming this video. I want to do a couple tags for you guys, and this tag, right now is going to be the sick/ill book tag. And I don't know I'm not subscribed to the booktuber who originated it. I think her name is Sarah with an H, maybe? Yeah. But I watched this, I got this tag from, Charlie Reed's, because I saw her tag. Sorry guys, the wind just kind of went crazy and shook my house. That was weird. But anyway, I got this from Charlie Reed's, and I will link her channel down below, and if you guys want to watch her, video of the sick/ill book tag, she mentions the original booktuber, in her video. So hopefully that's sufficient enough, because I don't know how to spell her, this girl's booktube name or anything. But yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so the first illness is diabetes. So this is a book that was too sweet. And the book that I picked for me, like, it isn't too sweet at all. It is overly sweet, but it's beautiful. It's fantastic. And it's P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern. Oh, her thing's right here. I was like going down to see it was down here. But anyway, she is my favorite author. I believe I've said that to you guys before, but yeah, she is my favorite, and the reason that she is my favorite is because every one of her books makes me laugh, cry, go, aww, like, so many times. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. And some parts even make me angry, which, I mean, all the emotions. But yeah, the parts that make this really sweet are, when Holly, the main character, is talking about her husband Jerry, or when, they have scenes with those two, that are either done in flashback or dream form, and they're just the sweetest scenes ever, because this book is, like, heartbreaking and beautiful and wonderful anyway, but those scenes just tug at my heart so much. They're so awesome, and every time I read one, it just makes me think, like, whoa, can I get a husband like that? That'd be great, because he's awesome. So yeah, that's P.S. I Love You, and I love it. And next is Chickenpox. I don't have a physical book for this because, sorry you guys, my hair's just going cray-cray today. I just said cray-cray. I don't think I've ever said that in my life. Crazy, whatever. But yeah, I don't have an actual book for the Chickenpox one because basically there were so many books that I read at school that, or that I read for middle school and high school, and some even for college, that I was assigned where I would never read them again, just because they were so bad. And the one that comes to mind immediately is, it was a book I read in 8th grade, called Death Watch. I don't remember the author. I'm sorry, guys, it was like 10 years ago, and I'm pretty sure if I typed in Death Watch to, like, Barnes & Noble or Google or something, it would come up with, like, 20 different books, and I wouldn't be able to figure out which one it was. But anyway, this book was so bad. It was a guy, and I think he was lost in the desert or something, and he was being hunted, by these other people, and I think it was called Death Watch because of, like, how long he was out in the desert or something. It was something really weird, and I could be completely screwing up this summary. But basically all I remember is just how gory and violent this book was, and I was only like 13 or 14, so I was just like, why would I ever read this again? Like, it was terrible. So yeah. that's my chickenpox one. Next is Influenza, which is a book that is spreading like the disease influenza. And I picked, or the illness influenza, whatever. I picked Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. You guys know how much I loved this book based on my book/film review of it, and everyone is reading, like, not everyone, but a lot of people are reading this book or this series, probably because of the movie. But yeah, it's awesome. Next is, oh, this one's kind of embarrassing. It's The Cycle, and it's a book that you read once a month, or every once in a while. You can guess what illness that is, and, it's not really an illness, even though it feels like one, but anyway. Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I do not read this book once a month. I read it every once in a while. I probably read it twice a year, I would say. Yeah, that's a good, or at least I've read it probably twice a year in the last 2 years. I probably won't get to it this year just because I have so many books that I need to read. But this is my comfort book. Like, I mean, okay, I think I've told you guys that this and A Room with a View by E.M. Forster are tied as my 2 favorite books of all time, but this is the book that I just go to when I want something comfortable, where I know the story so well. Immediately I go to this. I do need to pick up Room with a View more, though, because I do love it, but I have only read it like twice, I think. Next is a book that kept you up all night, and I picked My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. I picked this one because I read it summer after my freshman year of college, along with Time Traveler's Wife. I read both of those, like, within 2 weeks of each other, or I think I read both of them in a 2-week time period, and reading 2 books that are that intense, like, back to back, I had to read, like, chill stuff for the rest of the summer. But this book, I don't think it kept me up all night, but it kept me up for several hours during the night because I was reading it. But even after I put it down for the night, I was awake thinking about what the characters were going through, because this has some very intense issues, like life issues and life choices and situations in it, that the characters have to go through. And every character in this has something huge that they're dealing with. So, yeah, it's an amazing book, though. It's so good. But, yeah, it did keep me up just thinking about it. Next is Malnutrition, a book that lacks food for thought. And I picked Bed of Roses by Nora Roberts. Really any romance book. I mean, I love this book, I'm not gonna lie. Nora Roberts is my favorite romance author because she's not only very good at the romance relationships, but she's really, really great at forming the bonds with friends, and also family bonds. She's very good at just making you feel how much people care about each other in her books, whether it's family, friends, or romantic relationships, but mostly like family and friends. I love the bonds that she forms there. But you don't, like, if you think, oh, I really want to read something intellectual, or I want to read something where you're thinking about it, like, long after you read it, this is not it. Definitely not. But her books are still awesome. However, they are not like that. Sorry, you guys, the wind is just... Yeah, the wind is going crazy today, and it just, like, blew my door open and then blew it shut. That's weird. But anyway, so yeah. Malnutrition, Nora Roberts. However, again, I will say I love her books. Travel Negger. This is one of my favorite books, and it is, the main character is a time traveler, except he doesn't really travel past his own, I mean, he doesn't travel prior to his own life, which I think it makes it more realistic to me, which is great. But he basically time travels to his childhood, his wife's childhood, he time travels to their future, he even time travels, like, to not too distant future, like, I mean, I think at one point he time travels 2 or 3 weeks in advance, or behind of where they are in the present, and he travels a couple months ahead in sometimes, or at some points, sorry, but yeah, this is an amazing book, and I love this edition. I got it from Waterstones, so if you live in the UK and you have a Waterstones in your town, and you haven't yet read this book, this is a really cool edition. The promotion's probably gone, though. It's like, it's a shoes. And, okay, the reason why I've kept these stickers on here is because it's from a store that I don't get to go to often. I only get to go whenever I go over to the UK, which is only, like, once every 2 years or so. Or at least that's how it has been. But yeah, so I kept, like, the little promotional sticker and then the exclusively at Waterstones. Oh, yeah, so this edition is only at Waterstones, I think. So if you have a Waterstones near you, go get this. Okay, that is the end of the sick/ill book tag. And again, I got this video from Charlie Reed's. Sorry, Pride and Prejudice is in the background, so I'm looking at that. But yeah, so I got this from Charlie Reed's, and I will link her channel down below, and you can watch her video, and she talks about the person who originally did this, which I think her booktube name is called Sarah with an H, but I'm not entirely sure. So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys soon with another tag. Okay, thanks. Bye.